Hey everyone, welcome back to Weather for Weather Geeks. It is the Wednesday afternoon edition. I'm recording this at about 2:15 p.m. And of course, the big story today has been the cold. We set a new record low here in Youngstown this morning. At the last minute, it dropped suddenly from 12 degrees down to 7 for a little while around daybreak this morning. And the old record low was 12. So a new record low established of 7 degrees this morning. And this afternoon, we're still struggling here in the 2 o'clock hour, 23 degrees in Youngstown. Now, if we did not rise any more today, this would tie the coldest high temperature on record for this date. I think we'll probably add another couple of degrees before the day is through, but the record low maximum or record low high temperature for this date is 23 here in Youngstown. We've got kind of a mixed bag of clouds and sunshine out there this afternoon. Flurry activity faded away pretty early this morning. Now, this snow actually overachieved a little bit last night, not necessarily in most of the valley, but not far to the west, although even Newton Falls had about 2 inches worth of snow out of this last night, but particularly over in Portage County, Stark County, Summit County, heading over into parts of Medina County, kind of in the secondary snow belt, if you will. Some places got 4 or 5 fluffy inches of snow last night because lake effect kicked in a little harder than expected last night. So over towards Akron, Kent, and closer to Cleveland, this was a bit of an overachiever last night. I didn't see any reports more than 2, I believe it was 2.3 was the official report in Newton Falls. That was the highest report I've seen so far in our viewing area out of last night's snow. But boy, that was nothing compared to what they're getting over here along the East Coast. Here's our just dynamo of a nor'easter. The central pressure now down to 962 millibars. Similar pressures and winds here to a hurricane. The snow, thankfully, has been confined only to the outer Cape Cod area, Nantucket, and Martha's Vineyard. You don't have to head too far to the west before they're saying, hey, what snow? But certainly this is a big problem for eastern Maine, heading up into parts of southeastern Canada as well. Let me take off the radar and satellite here, show you a couple more cool things. Just look how wound up this thing is against, again, the central pressure, 962 millibars. That is really something. Let me plot up, let's see here. Let's see if there's any wind reports recently that are of note. There's a utility pole down, but no recent actual miles per hour wind reports to speak of lately. But I saw a gust up to 80 miles per hour earlier in Nantucket, so it's been really, really impressive. Let me fill in the wind speeds based on the latest high-resolution model here. And when you get into these yellows and bright yellows and whites here west of the center of low pressure, we're talking winds that are probably up around 80, 85, maybe 90 miles per hour over here just west of the low center. So this is a really incredible nor'easter. It's one for the record books. It's when you look up in a meteorology textbook, what's a classic nor'easter or mature mid-latitude cyclone, what's it look like? Well, it looks like this. This is pretty textbook. So very impressive stuff today in terms of our nor'easter. Thankfully not a problem for us. Let's take a quick look at the country as a whole temperature-wise, because yes indeed, it is cold in many places, but look what's going on out across the middle of the country. We've got some warmer air starting to build here across the high plains, and eventually this is going to come east. So I do think tomorrow will be quite a bit different than today. We should actually approach average tomorrow, which is up around 50, and we'll do even better than that, I suspect, on Friday. So the tide is about to turn. Lots of cold air around the Great Lakes and Northeast, but we are optimistic that some of that mild air across the middle of the country is going to head our way. But we do have our forecasting challenges ahead of us as we head towards the weekend. Let's see how far our European model has progressed here. I'm actually going to back this out here. And bear with me for just a second. We have a couple of different things to keep track of over the next several days. One is the fact that we have some rain heading our way for late tomorrow into tomorrow night. Let's show you the GFS here. And this shows some shower activity very late in the day tomorrow. Most of tomorrow is okay, just pretty cloudy. But then the rain's more likely tomorrow night. This is the middle of the night right here tomorrow night, and then at daybreak on Friday, the steadiest of the rain starting to push off to the east. So that's round number 1. Round number 2 is going to head our way as we head into the weekend. This is Saturday, and this is when we start to have some forecasting challenges. This is the GFS model, and this shows an area of low pressure down here. And if this track were to be right, we're starting to see more snow than rain here in Northeast Ohio. Could even see a few inches. I'll show you some snow maps in just a second. Now that's the GFS. That does not necessarily jive with some of our other modeling. Let's see wanted to bring up the latest European model to see how far out it is. It's just coming in as we speak. And yeah, it's not in very far yet. So we're not going to show you the European just yet. Here's the Canadian model. Same idea with the first wave. This is Thursday night into Friday morning. We get a break Friday night. Then Saturday, not first thing in the morning, but in the afternoon, we'll start to see some precipitation pushing in. Now, the Canadian is far enough to the north and west that this would likely be rain, at least for several hours, Saturday afternoon, maybe early in the evening. It might then transition over to some snow Saturday night if the Canadian has the right idea. So yeah, this is starting to concern us a little bit. You know, we 2 days ago, this did not look like much of a snow producer at all. In fact, 2 days ago it looked like it wouldn't do anything Saturday. Then yesterday the models came around to the idea that, hey, it's going to rain some Saturday, and now they're starting to flirt with the idea that there might actually be some snow trying to mix in with this, particularly Saturday night. All of this is speculation at this point. These are forecast models. We use them as tools. They are not the gospel. Many times they are clueless, and our job is to kind of determine when we think they are more clueless than other times. So I'm going to show you a few things here, but please take this with a grain of salt. We're talking about Saturday night mostly, and this is only Wednesday afternoon. Plenty of time to figure this out. But nonetheless, this is the Canadian model snowfall outlook. This does bring in half a foot of snow, northern Trumbull County, northern Mercer County, with even more up into the higher terrain south and east of Erie, PA. For a lot of the Mahoning Valley, this would be maybe a couple or a few inches. That's the Canadian. GFS has that farther south idea, so the axis of heaviest snow is farther south, kind of more like this, Cincinnati to Columbus to New Philly, and then up into parts of the Mahoning Valley might get a few inches if the GFS model has the right idea. So we've got our work cut out for us. Make sure that the latest European model is not in very far yet. Yeah, the European seems to be coming in slowly today. But bottom line I want you to take away from this video is that we've got a tough forecast coming this weekend. Right now, I suspect odds favor more rain than snow, but that may be subject to change. Keep your eye out. I'll keep you posted on the TV side, on social media as well, and I'll have fresh editions of Weather for Weather Geeks, of course, Thursday afternoon and Friday afternoon. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you tonight on 21 News at both 6 and 11.